Hello everyone, Corpse here, bringing you another video tutorial. Today's video tutorial is on the Discord block. Alrighty guys, welcome back to another video tutorial. I know some of you guys have been following up on the news that I've been developing this Discord block, basically. With a full working admin panel where you can configure it and all that. And I decided I'm going to make this video tutorial and release it before the script gets released. Just so I'm ahead of the game and I'm not too lazy or I forget. So I figured I would do it now. Just finished doing the latest update, which was adding in these stats right here. Thanks to Sporadic, he actually did it. He's been testing my script for me, and I gave him a copy of the script. He ended up doing it. I liked what he did. Originally, I wasn't going to do it. I said if he wanted to release an update, he could, but then I had to go in and do some work anyways. I was at that point, I was hoping I was done, but since I was back in there doing more work, I said, "You want to send? I'm in here, might as well do it." So I did it. So it's done. So here's the new look. It has stats there. Changed some colors around. And added a couple of key features. So we're going to go over that today and we're going to talk about it. So first thing what we're going to do is let's head into the admin panel. And then we click on Discord. And as you can see, here's the new panel right here. For you guys that have seen some of the screenshots before of when I was in development, pretty much it looks the same. But you'll notice that there is a new color added, which is the border color. And then you have border width, and you have a slider here. The slider you can choose anywhere from 0 pixels up to 3 pixels. 0 pixels is no border at all. Basically, I tell you everything right there about the border color and border width. Both these use the same hint. So border color and border width. By default, it is 1 pixel. So that was something that was added in just today, actually. So first thing we're going to do is talk about the Discord JSON URL. You may be wondering, what is the JSON URL? How do I get it? Where do I get it? So that's going to be quite easy. Let's bring this over. This is Discord. This is this is my server. Well, you would go to your server and right click on it. And then just go down to server settings and then click on overview. Sorry, not overview, widget. You click on widget and right here you'll see it says JSON API. Just click on copy, escape, minimize, and then you just paste it in right there. That's it. That's how you get your JSON URL. Next, you'll see admins to display, and you'll see a bunch of random numbers. Well, they're not random. They're actually user ID numbers. The reason why I decided to go with user ID numbers versus usernames is what I've read is the usernames are not static. They're somewhat dynamic. They can change. Where the user ID, well, that's your user ID. That's to your Discord account. That's your ID number. It won't change. So that's why I went with user IDs. I wanted to go with something static and not worry about somebody trying to pose as an admin and say, see, I show up on your website as admin. Just give me the admin rights. No. Won't happen. So that's why I went with user IDs. I could be wrong on that, but that's what I've read through some of the documentations. So, and I do have a full readme on here about everything, and a link to what I'm about to show you. So how do you get the user ID numbers? Well, we go back to Discord. First thing you're going to want to do is come down and click on your cog. That's the little gear to get into the settings. Next thing you're going to want to do is get into, if I remember right, it is appearance. And once you're in appearance, you scroll down, and in the advanced section at the bottom, you'll see developer mode. Just make sure you check that to on. If that is set on, then you're good to go. You exit out and just say, okay, I want to make Anubis admin. All I do is right click on his name and scroll all the way down to the bottom. Copy ID. And then I just come back here. And to add him, after the two I already have there, I will put in a comma, space, and then hit Control V and paste him in. He's already in there, so I don't actually have to add him. Do that. But the first number will not have a comma. You just put in the first one as is. But everything afterwards requires you to put in a comma, space, and then put in the next user ID, comma, space, next user ID, comma, space, so on. But since I only have two, I have my ID, comma, space, Anubis's ID, and then nothing. Since it's only just us two. And then I just click submit and we're good to go. Everything else is pretty much self-explanatory. I mean, you have Discord logo. In the drop down, you have three choices. You have light, dark, and Discord blue. If we go over to Sporadic's website, he's the one that's testing this for me. You'll see he uses the Discord blue on his site. Here it is right here. So as you can see, the Discord blue right there. Of course, with this system, you'll be able to go in and change the CSS around a bit. I mean, you're open to do whatever. So feel free to modify this, but beyond what it already is, just don't ask for support because, well, I'm not going to give it. I'll give support on other aspects, but to theme and that, I'll let you explore. I've already spent enough time in there. And for those that know me, know that I never really wanted to do this script in the first place. So, this was one of those scripts, just did not want to do it. But back to his site, you can see he uses what is called the Discord blue. And then dark is basically the exact opposite of this. The white is black, the black is white, and it has a white border going around it. Just like this has a black border going around it. Display empty channels. Okay, that is interesting. What I'm going to do is show you here. As you can see, my TeamSpeak's pretty empty. It's just me inside there with everything muted. So if I come over here and set that to no, and we're going to submit that. If I refresh this, you see all the channels disappeared, and it's just the channel that I'm in. So another feature what I've been doing while doing this is here, let me switch Discord channels. I switched to Sporadic's Discord. Guarantee this won't update just yet, so what I'm going to do is pause here and I'll come back as soon as this updates.
A few moments later.
And we're back. As you can see, the way this displays is it shows now that there are no channels and there's nobody on the server. So there is a placeholder. This was something that I accidentally left out prior. I just completely forgot about doing that. But yeah, so now there is a placeholder there, which you don't have to worry about because, well, the script was never released to anybody in the public at all. This is just something recent. So this is what it looks like when that is there. If we come back to here and turn this back to no, put that on yes, and we refresh this, bam, all the channels are back, and I can easily just hop back into there, and I'll show up eventually. This display empty channels, that is more for like the large servers where you have lots of people on, lots of channels, maybe lots of channels, but a bunch of people, but not too many. Yeah, so it's going to be for those larger servers with more people on them constantly. Then you're going to want to display empty channels set to no. Servers like mine, display yes, because, well, we don't really use Discord ever. So we're TeamSpeak people. If you don't believe me, bam, there's my TeamSpeak. As you can see, I'm on it. Not many people are on, but it is also 7:56 in the morning. So after that, we have all the different colors here for everything. And if you click on these question marks, as you'll see, this is what I recently just did today. I updated all these images. Well, created all these images, and then I had to turn it into a sprite. So got the sprite made and uploaded. So it now reflects exactly how the system looks. It actually came out sharper than the other one. The only ones that really doesn't have that is going to be the channel, the border color. And the reason is, well, border color is it changes all the borders. It's not really that difficult to figure out. But of course, to change color, all you have to do is click on the input here. Color comes up. We'll change that to pink. So this color right here is what it is currently, and this color right here is what we want to go to. And I just click the OK button. Let's turn the border up to 2 pixels and submit. Come back here and hit refresh. And I just want to give you guys a little heads up on how this system works a bit. Is like all these borders, inside borders, they're 2 pixels, but this outer border is actually set to 3 pixels. The way I've coded it is the outside border takes the thickness that you set and then adds 1 to it. So the outside border is just slightly thicker. But if you set this to 0, submit, by that logic I just told you, then this outside border should be 1 pixel. But if we refresh, there's no border. I actually wrote it using a ternary operator. Basically, it's PHP. Here, let me see if I can grab this. We'll be right back in 2 seconds. Okay, let me minimize that and let me drag this over. Basically, right here, as you can see, I defined this variable tBorder, and then it pulls out zone 8B, which is for the border, zone 8 border. If it equals 0, then it's going to display just be 0. And then this is the else, and it's now pulling that out plus 1. So no matter what, it adds 1, but if the number is 0, then it will give it a 0. So it'll be 0 pixels. So that's basically how the system works. Very simple. Let's just minimize that for now. So we'll go back up. So that's how you reset the border slider. Just to let you know, for you guys that are running Internet Explorer, if you need good slapping, let me know. I'll be free to slap you whenever because you're using that system. I highly recommend, if you're using Internet Explorer and you're on Windows 10, stop. If you don't want to use Chrome, you don't want to use Opera, you don't want to use Firefox, then use Edge. Please stop using Internet Explorer. Microsoft has already said that they are no longer going to be doing any features to Internet Explorer. They're going to still do security updates, but there's no new features. They're not bug fixing. They're not adding anything. It's just security. So might as well use something that's better, and they're all free. I mean, you can get Firefox, Google Chrome, Edge. Edge comes with Windows 10, Opera. Use those. But if you're using Internet Explorer, when you slide this number will not change. Don't freak out. It will still change. But Internet Explorer actually will display a little number, so right here it will show 0, 1, 2, 3. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Now that you know how to do the colors, and if you notice, like this little box, that shows you what the current color is. So if I sit there and say, okay, I want this one to be teal, move that to there, click that. Now that's what's set. But if I refresh, it will go back because I haven't clicked submit yet. So let's click submit, and there you go, it's still there. Now what happens if I screwed this up real bad? Here, let me go to like that and there, at that color. Let's turn this to like lime green. We're going to make like a little bit of a Punky Brewster type thing. Let's do like a red, but let's do like a dark red. And we click submit. So we got our little clown system right here. That just looks awful. Well, what happens if I want to quickly send this back to how it was originally? All you have to do is check this little box saying that you understand that all the changes will change all the colors, and you click submit. Basically, if you hit reset, it won't let you. You have to check the box first. And this is, I did this on purpose, having the reset button off to the right, and also having the checkbox, so you accidentally don't click it, because it will overwrite every system inside the database. So all these colors and everything. So what does this exactly reset? It resets everything from here down. So all 8 zones here, which these bottom 2 is one zone. This is zone 8. That's 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So 1 through 8 gets changed by this. So the display empty channel won't get touched. The scored logo will be whatever you had it set to. Admins to display, that stays normal, and the URL stays the same. So yeah, that's pretty much the system. That's how you would go about configuring in that. And pretty much our last side, what we're going to do is show you how to set it up as a block. Let's reset so we can stop looking at this clown system. And we go to the block administration. There's that clown system right there. So we refresh that, and now what we're here is, as you can see, we have it here. Normally, on a lot of my older scripts and a lot of other people's scripts, we would have multiple blocks, and you would have to click add new block and then put it find the Discord-side block and put it in. Well, this system's a little bit different. All you have to do is take the block and move it off to the side. So what it's going to do is it's going to convert this big one into a block that goes here. Normally, in the past, if you tried doing that, that big block would be over here and would push the site over. But now, if we just refresh, you can see that it shows a vertical version. The block actually automatically detects, and I'll show you a little bit about that system right here. Here's the basic URL for the block. As you can see, it brings you right to the PHP, but then there's a little question mark and a 0 after it. If I change this 0 to a 1, it shows as a side block. If I change this to a 2, it's going to show as a center block. Same with a 0. So if it is 1, that is going to be a side. Everything else is center block by default. And I designed the block so it detects if it's center or side. And if it's center, it will keep the number 0 in the URL. But if I put it in a side, it will say, oh, it's a side, put a 1, not a 0. And it puts on a 1, so we'll display the side version. I did this purposely so it's only one file that we ever have. So I wanted to keep it somewhat down and limited for all of us. So that's pretty much the system. If you guys have any questions or comments or anything, feel free to visit me over at my website at shotdomain.net. You could also come over and visit us over at lonestar-modules.com and also evolution-extreme.com. Extreme with an X. I also like to push out a special thanks to Sporadic for not only testing the script, but also giving me the idea for this. Even though I coded my own, I didn't use his code, and which actually our code was very similar. I did point out a couple, one thing to help optimize his script a bit, but yeah, thanks to him for helping me test this and all that. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, he even did a custom copyright thing, which I'm not going to do originally because I didn't want to have the copyrights here. But I do want to shout out a special thanks to him. His website is www.aa-hq.com. So yeah, till next time, you guys have a good one.